Yeah, hi there. These comments are for HJ, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT. And you sent me an email just a few days ago, and I want to take some time to answer your questions. So you say, I need to ask you about how I can improve my score in the TOEFL test. In my last test, you want to say here, got. When you're talking about past tense situations, you need to use past tense verbs. Now, if I remember correctly, your goal here is to get 550, right? So then the question is, how do you go from 417 to 550? So you want to get over 100 points. That's a big improvement that you're looking for. So there are some things that you can do that are going to help you improve your score. Now, first of all, it's probably going to be, you're looking at anywhere from 3 to 6 months, I think, before you're going to be able to reach this goal. That's the first thing you got to realize. You have a lot of problems in a lot of different areas, and you have to solve these issues before your score is going to go up. All right, number one, here's my first idea. 45 minutes of reading every day. This is important. You want to do this really before you do anything else. Number two, 45 minutes of practicing listening every day. Now, you live in the United States, and you're also one of my students over at California State University, so you have a really good opportunity to be in an English-speaking country. So you will be able to make improvements much faster than someone who does not live in the United States, because you're getting a lot of exposure every day. So you want to also spend about 45 minutes every day with listening. My recommendation is English TV. I recommend news, documentary history, and especially science programs. Now, as you do your reading and listening practice, you really need to work on your note-taking. This is important because you're actively involving yourself in the reading and the listening by taking notes. Now, it won't be easy, and it won't be that, your notes are not going to be that great in the beginning, but if you keep practicing, they will become more and more accurate and more complete as you practice. Now, using your notes, I want you to write 3 250-word summaries each week in your free time. I know you're busy with a lot of your classes, but if you want to improve your TOEFL score, you need to do this. So each summary should focus on the main and the most important supporting points of either a reading or listening passage. Number 4, you should also practice speaking about the passages. This is also important. So using your notes, you can record 3 to 5 60-second oral responses. And you want to make sure you record these because you need to listen to your voice. You need to get familiar with your delivery, which means pronunciation. You need to become more familiar with your language use, which includes both your vocabulary and your grammar, and then also your topic development, which means how you organize and develop your ideas. Okay, so you want to be doing these things every day, every week, so you'll do maybe 3 to 5 60-second oral responses each week. You'll write 3 250-word summaries as you're doing your daily reading and listening practice. Now, the next thing is, I want you to focus, first of all, maybe for the first 1 to 2 months, I want you to focus on my vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar. sections of my course. You want to do this first, especially you need to improve your vocabulary. I cannot tell you how important this is. So your goal is especially to go through my vocabulary lesson 3, lesson number 4, lesson number 5, and lesson number 6, and to go through and master that vocabulary. Learn those words. You want to take these words and put them on note cards. You can put the word on one side, a definition on the other, and start studying those words. There are 1,700 vocabulary words, so you will need over about 1,500. You need about 1,700 vocabulary cards, right? So you can start studying that. Now it'll take you probably 1 or 2 months to finish your vocabulary cards, but it's worth it. I'm telling you, it's very worth it. I just had one of my students. His name's Felix from Indonesia. He followed exactly the suggestions I'm giving you now, and he got 97 on his TOEFL exam, and it took him about 4.5 months for him to reach his goals, but he did. Now the next thing is, for the next 1 to 2 months, I want you to focus in the listening and the reading sections of my course. Remember, if you've already done the vocabulary and you've been practicing the grammar, this next part will be easy. So you'll start completing listening and reading practice tests. You'll start reviewing all my lessons to help you build your listening and reading proficiency. Now, for the next 1 to 2 months, this is the final thing you want to do, is to go through my speaking and writing sections. This is the last thing you want to do. This includes, you need to start, once you get to this point, you should start posting speaking practice tests online for me to grade. I have a VoxyPop discussion group called the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL IBT, and you can see when you go to the speaking and the writing parts of my course, I will tell you where you can post. I will give you the regulations of how you can post them and so on. So for you to make the change of going from 417 to 550, you're probably looking at about 3 to 6 months. There's probably at least 7 things that you will need to do, and these are the things I just went over in this particular video. So if you're patient, if you follow this plan, and you study over a long period of time, you will gradually reach your goal. Now, my recommendation is, don't take the paper-based TOEFL when you're ready to take the TOEFL. Take the IBT TOEFL. That will include speaking and writing, and your goal here is to get 80 or 81, right? Now, maybe 1 month before you take the IBT TOEFL exam, HJ, I recommend that you complete a full-length IBT practice test. You can find out about those by going to the 8th section of my online TOEFL course, and you can learn about those full-length IBT practice tests. It's important to take a full-length practice test. I mean, the TOEFL is no joke. It's 5.5 hours long, and if you take the full-length practice test, a few things are going to happen. Number 1, you're going to get a score. Your 6 speaking tasks will be graded. Your 2 writing tasks will be graded. You'll see your subtotals in the reading, listening, speaking, and writing, so you can analyze your weaknesses. Number 2, the second thing that's going to happen is you will become more familiar, I think, with the test, the structure, and the format of the TOEFL IBT exam. And the third thing is you'll build the strength and the stamina you need to take this type of exam. So these are my recommendations for you. So if you're patient, if you follow the plan, and you study over a long period of time, you will be able to reach your goal.